Greetings everyone, this is Leviathan back on the PTR, and you can see that we're about to do a Greater Rift 40, but the caveat here is that we're going for the Conquest, which is the one that says you cannot wear any of the class sets in order to complete the Greater Rift 40. So this is going to be a bit of a longer clear, because obviously you have next to no power. I mean, obviously you have some power while you're outside of your class set, but it's really those sets that give you those multipliers that really give you the boosted damage. So you can see here, it takes a while to kill elites. That's really the biggest, slowest part. So in my head, I'm like, should I skip them? Should I kill them? And then I end up deciding to just try and kite them a little bit. My strategy here was to really just, this is my first attempt at it, so I was like, you know what, I'll just throw on whatever spear gear that seems decent that I have. So I believe in the helm, I'm using a Leoric's crown with a max diamond in there just for the cooldown reduction on our calling up the wolf for the extra damage, and our seed with vengeance just to keep that hatred flowing. In the chest, we've got a cinder coat, so that of course boosts up the fire damage a little bit, and we're running the standard multi-shot fire build basically. I had the Unhallowed Essence set equipped with some of the new shinies that it got on the patch 2.3 PTR, and then I just unequipped the UE set and put some standard non-class set stuff in the other slots. So, and the shoulders actually did just keep the Unhallowed Essence shoulders because I didn't find anything else, and there aren't that many other shoulders with cool powers there anyways. Then what else? In the pants and the boots, I actually ran a two-piece Blackthorns. Blackthorns is one of the sets that you can wear. You can also wear crafted sets too, and that'll probably speed things up, to be honest. Could probably do something where you have your what's that one, Captain Crimson or something, if you're a cooldown class, or you can get some extra power coming out by wearing some of the crafted stuff. But the interesting part is that the crafted sets require some of the legendary the legendary materials from the bounties. So it's kind of like, do you prioritize that early season if you're trying to rush this conquest just to make those pieces that may or may not help, or do you save them for your powers in the cube and things like that? So I decided to just see if I could do it with the randomly assembled gear that I had, and you can watch the progress. At least right now we're starting to get ahead of the timer, which is good. I figured we would probably need to be a decent amount ahead in order to take down the Rift Guardian, just because it would be a little bit of a longer fight than usual. But I am running a Bane of the Stricken, so of course that cuts that fight down considerably. I'll keep going through all the other pieces of the gear. So yeah, I had the two-piece Blackthorns, which is useful just because you get some elite damage there, you get some extra health as well. And you can see defense is like not a problem at all. This is a hardcore Demon Hunter, by the way, so I was pretty concerned with my safety first and foremost, just because the UE set obviously has some damage reduction in there. I mean, of course a lot of it is power driven. It's a pretty offensive set, but I wanted to make sure that my defenses were going to be good, and then if I had to run a second or a third attempt, I would just try and lean out a little bit more and get some more damage into the build. And then in the gloves, we're actually wearing, I can never remember the name of these gloves, but it's the one that with the legendary power that gives you a shield whenever you come across an elite pack and they hit you. You get a shield for a certain amount percent. I think it ranges like 120 to 150% of a shield. And then you can see it activate against some of the elites. Obviously we're getting hit, so it's pretty useful. And yeah, the blue elites obviously are the ones that we want to pick the fight with, just because those orbs are still going to be worth quite a bit of progress, and they're going to be a little bit easier to kill. The UE set / setup, of course, prides itself on keeping your distance from enemies, so I'm still playing with that mindset, and I still have a lot of things equipped that play into that, so I'll talk about some of the skills and some of the gems. In our passives, we're rocking a steady aim, awareness, because hardcore. What else do we have? We also, trying to remember from memory here. I'm literally just watching the video with you guys and then trying to think of exactly what I did. But most importantly, steady aim is in there, of course. You know, keep your distance. You get a ton of extra damage. Also with that is the gem Zai Stone of Vengeance, so those two work nicely together. And I mentioned that I was also using Bane of the Stricken, and my third gem, of course, is Bane of the Trapped, and we're cubing the Thunder Fury to help proc that slow. And it's amazing, oh man, I'm tripping on my words here. It's a very consistent slow, is what I was trying to say. So you will pretty much always have this slow up on enemies. You can see whenever there's that little murky, like fog thing beneath the enemies, that means they have the slow on them. And it's really, I have a Thunder Fury on my follower, and I have the Thunder Fury procced on my weapon slot for the cube. So, you know, those are the two sources, and other than that, you know, we're usually not in melee range, so you're not going to get the slow from the second half of the Bane of the Trap, that level 25 unlock. So it's really cool because obviously the Bane of the Trap goes much higher than like a Calamity could. Calamity is going to be great for groups, since someone else in your group will probably be able to proc your Bane of the Trap for you, and you won't need that slow coming from the Thunder Fury equip in the cube. But Calamity will be great in groups just because everyone will benefit from that damage buff. And then what else did we cube? We also cubed Pride's Fall. I couldn't really think of another like good armor piece to do. I mean, obviously I could have like stutter stepped with Hexing Pants, but I actually really dislike that playstyle. I'm sure it's going to become very popular once this patch actually goes live, and you know, it's something that is a thing right now. It's just the way that the Hexing Pants work, so it is what it is, but I kind of wanted to shy away from it. You can see that sometimes we have the proc up for the Pride's Fall, and then of course after a while I just stopped caring about like playing perfect of not getting hit, so you know, it falls off every now and again, but it helps with just keeping some of that resource down. And I mean, the other parts of the gear, of course, are, you know, the rings, the amulet, and the quiver and the bow. And rings and amulet, I'm using focus and restraint, so naturally, you know, oscillating between evasive fire, focus with multi-shot arsenal. And then for the amulet, I actually farmed up a few Hellfire amulets, and I was able to get a pretty decent one that had Cull the Weak, so again, synergizing with the slow for extra damage. So that's pretty nice. And then for the bow and the quiver, of course, we're going with Dead Man's Legacy for the extra damage on your multi-shots below that certain health point, and then, or health percentage, I should say. And then Yang's Recurve, which has been impressing the hell out of me on this PTR. It's amazing that insane amount of resource cost reduction is so good. Like, first of all, obviously, it makes your multi-shot so much cheaper, right? And then we're using a Cinder Coat, so we're already getting a resource cost reduction for fire skills, which of course multi-shot arsenal is. And then we're getting the additional resource cost reduction from Yang's Recurve, and for those that don't know, it rolls innately with a 40 to 50%. And you can actually roll another affix on the bow, because it comes with 5 primaries. You can roll another one into resource cost reduction as well, and then you can bump it up to 55, because of course there's that, you know, diminishing return / multiplicative scaling. So then it goes, if you get a perfect 8%, it would be 55 if you had the perfect 50 previously. Rolling the 8% basically makes the range from 45 to 55. So that's nuts, right? Like 55% resource cost reduction on multi-shot essentially makes it free. And then there's that new belt as well, which allows your primary attacks to attack faster and also gain a bit of damage on them. So if you're alternating enough evasive fires with multi-shot, like, you will always just have hatred to spend. You will be able to spam so many multi-shots in a row, and of course you can't, I mean, you wouldn't want to do it in a row all the time, because you also need to make sure that your evasive fire is proccing the other side of focus and restraint. So there is some of that nice synergy interplay between making sure to throw out your generator and then use your spender, and they both just feed into each other. So you're just getting more multi-shots, you're using your generator, but you don't feel that bad about it because you're getting damage buffs to it from both the belt and of course focus and restraint. And if we had the set on, obviously then Unhallowed Essence, kind of something for the more endgame-ish side of the build. And then there's also this new bracers that they put in because you have all this resource cost reduction. You don't need Reaper's Wraps anymore. And so they actually introduced a new bracers called the Wraps of Clarity. And these are amazing because you get damage reduction based on using your generator. So whenever you throw out your generator, it doesn't even have to hit anything, you just have to use it. You get a range of damage reduction for 5 seconds. And it's from 30 to 35% on the Wraps of Clarity. And that's really strong. That's, you know, more than half of the Unity 50% reduction. If you combine that with the damage reduction that you get on the Unhallowed Essence set, that can be at least 50% up to 55% because it's a 20% reduction on Unhallowed Essence. So, you know, you're already, without wearing a Unity, gaining the damage reduction of a Unity combo with your follower. But then if you also throw the Unity on too, which I have as the jewelry in my Kanai's Cube on this build in particular right now, then you're so safe. You can take hits. You can, I mean, not tank stuff. We're still a DH, right? So we're staying at range. But if you know, make some bad vaults, if you get some stuff that teleports on you, you're not instantly dead. And that's awesome. There's such a big difference from playing this on live versus playing it on the PTR right now. One of the things I did want to mention was obviously we never got power conduit in this. You can see that we're almost about to proc the Rift Guardian. And if we got the power, that would have made things speed up so much more. Channeling is really good in this, of course, because, you know, unlimited hatred, essentially. There's so many other things I want to comment on, too. The resource cost reduction applies to all your resources, so that also means discipline, which means you can essentially vault for free. And then when you have the Unhallowed Essence set on, that means that you're not going to be diminishing the damage output by using up your discipline because you're using so little of it to still maintain that, to still get the benefits of the mobility of Vault, just because the cost is so reduced. So that's awesome. And then there's the actual legendary property on Yang's recurve, which allows your multi-shot to attack 50% faster. So you're spamming out more, but they cost less. It's just more damage output. And then you can see here, we get the Rift Guardian into an amazing spot where even though our Templar isn't always attacking him, he's blocking. So you can see that most of Rhyme's attacks just never reach us. And then we can just spam them down from afar. And then I throw out a little slash dance here at the end because we got it done. So I hope you guys enjoyed the vid. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you around. Patch 2.3 hype!